Chapter 226. Lamech and the, by him, still unrecognized Holy Father in the throne room. The Lord as the key and the door. 5th January 1843. When they arrived outside the door to the throne room, Lamech quickly stepped up to the unknown man and said to him, "You, still much mightier friend than Kisahel and his brothers, and even the high priest Enoch, here is the throne room in which the most holy name of God rests on the throne. Having so movingly and mightily spoken to the people of this name, as if coming from the mouth of God, you will surely also take pleasure in inspecting this holiest of names. If you want to do this before our morning meal, I would have them open the large room instantly. For behold, there in the background are waiting 100 servants, both male and female. I merely have to sign to them, and they shall be instantly available to unlock the heavy brazen doors for us." And the Lord replied to Lamech, "Why bother the people unnecessarily? Look, this also we can do, and this far more easily than the poor, weak people." But Lamech said, "This is surely true, but we have to demand the keys." And the Lord answered Lamech, "Hear, Lamech, I myself am the key and the door. With me you can open anything that is locked anywhere, and through me you can enter the room of eternal life. To prove that I am the key that can unlock any door, just look at the door. When I say to it, 'Open up,' it will open also without your key." Here the Lord said to the door, "Open up," and the two heavy wings flew open instantly and swiftly, so that Lamech could not follow how and when this happened. At this, Lamech was absolutely dumbfounded, and he rushed back to Kisahel and said to him, "Listen, brother, this is a little too much for me. I am getting scared stiff of the man, for I believe this one could, with his word, even move mountains. Tell me, could you have achieved this with the might of your will and word?" And Kisahel replied to Lamech, "Indeed, but only, as everything so far, through the might and grace of the Lord, outside of which there is neither might nor strength nor any grace. Thus everyone can do everything with the Lord, but nothing without him. For the Lord alone is almighty and can do everything out of himself, and no one, except the Lord, can do anything out of himself." And again Lamech asked Kisahel, "Thus this peculiar young man must be endowed with immense grace, effecting all this and excelling before you all." Then Kisahel replied, "Indeed, my dear brother Lamech, he has the highest degree of grace from God, and is therefore the mightiest of the mighty and the wisest of the wise." And Lamech answered, "I find it rather peculiar that God should endow precisely this young man with more grace, wisdom, and might than you experienced men of great age. Does it not appear strange to you, too?" And Kisahel replied, "Oh, by no means. Look, this the Lord does as he pleases. Does not often a tiny flower make a greater show and exude more fragrance than the greatest rose? Why? This only the Lord knows. But look, the young man is approaching the tablet. So let us pay attention to what he will do with it." However, the Lord only looked at the tablet unceremoniously, soon turned around again, and then said to Lamech, "Well, my friend, let us go again, and you have a morning meal prepared for us." And Lamech was in readiness and said to the young man, "My above all esteemed friend, full of the most superior might and wisdom, we only have to enter the dining hall and everything will be in order." And the Lord replied, "So let us go." Here the Lord moved ahead by the side of Hanoch, Kisahel, and Lamech, with the others following him. On the way, Lamech said to Kisahel, "Brother, this struck me again as quite peculiar, namely, that this divinely privileged man did not make the slightest obeisance to the tablet, but gave it only a cursory look before turning his back on it. I tell you, this amazes me most of all." Thereupon Kisahel said to Lamech, "Dear brother, do not let this bother you, for within a short time all this will become as clear as the sun to you. But do precisely what he says, and God will be extremely pleased with everything.